Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting Game 2 of the Rapid Match played over 4 games to decide the World Chess Championship 2012. And this time, Anand tries his luck with the white pieces. And the game starts e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, e6, and as in Game 10, Anand plays this exchange variation of the Rosolimo. b3, and after e5 we're still following the classical Game 10. This was the interesting pawn sack that Gelfand tried there. Knight takes queen e7, and in Game 10 Anand here played bishop b2. But in this game he plays d4, which appears to be a novelty. And the reply from Gelfand is d6, and this is leading to complications and fight early on, which is great. Knight takes c6, queen takes e4 check, queen e2, queen exchange, bishop b7, knight a5, bishop takes g2. This is already more crazy stuff than we have seen in all classical match. Rook g1, and I believe here that Svetler recommended the bishop e4, but in the game Gelfand played bishop h3, d takes c5, d takes c5, knight c3, and Gelfand castles queenside. And both sides are having their problems here in this position. Gelfand obviously needs to develop kingside pieces, and Anand has an unsafe king. It's an open battle. Bishop f4, bishop d6, bishop takes, rook g5, knight f6, and now Anand grabs the pawn on c5 and seems to be in the driving seat at this point. King b8, knight c4, rook e8 check, knight e3, knight g4, knight c to d5, knight takes, bishop g4, check, f3, bishop c8, rook e1, rook h6, rook h1, rook h to e6, and rook c3. And now, after a promising start, it feels like the initiative is actually now with Gelfand, f5, putting pressure on this knight on e3, which is pinned to the king. King d2, f4, knight d5, g5, rook d3, rook e2 check, king c1, rook f2, and now comes h4 from Anand. And I suspect here that g4 was a possibility for Gelfand. F takes, bishop takes, and there could be this dangerous pass pawn in the f file. But Gelfand played rook e to e2. Doubling rooks on the 7th rank is almost never a bad idea, but perhaps here the g4 idea was stronger. But rook c3 from Anand, bishop b7, rook d1, g takes h4, and now Anand can take the pawn on f4. Rook e8, rook h1, rook c8, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes h4, bishop f5, rook h5. Gelfand grabs the pawn on c2, rook check, king a8, knight d5, a6, rook a5, king b7, knight b4, bishop g6. And this is a long, rapid game with a lot of moves, and of course the players have had are busy making their moves, because they only have 25 minutes for the whole game, plus 10 seconds of course per move. So it's not there that they're in time trouble, but they have to make a lot of moves here. Knight takes a6, rook takes f3, knight c5, king b6, b4, rook f4, and a3. And of course I think we can say that any winning chances are with Anand having the white pieces here, but I thought we were heading for a draw. Rook g4 came, king d2, h5, knight d7 check, king b7, knight e5, rook d2 check, king c3, bishop e8, knight d3, h4, rook e5, bishop g6, knight f4, rook g3 check, king d4, bishop c2, rook h5. And now pawns are exchanged here. Rook takes a3, rook takes h4, and it's all down to a possible rook endgame with a knight's pawn. And this is a little tricky because in many situations it will end in a draw. So Anand wants to trade his knight for the bishop, but only at the right time, because otherwise Gelfand will be able to hold the game. So there, in the following sequences, there are a lot of situations where Anand could trade the bishop, but where the timing is not right. Here, for example, so knight a4 instead, and of course rooks should not be traded at any condition, under any conditions. But now it seems that, and here again, now comes this trade here, because after rook takes, then king d6, rook b3, and rook g8 check. And now white is in the driving seat, and without being able to pinpoint exactly where things went wrong for Gelfand, we reach this position at move 76 in a rapid game, and Gelfand either resigned or lost on time. I'm not quite sure, but with 10 seconds increment per move, he probably resigned this endgame, which is, I believe, a technical win for white. But still, I would hate to have this kind of endgame with only a few seconds on the clock. So, but Gelfand must, of course, have judged that this is not very difficult for a player like Anand to win. So Gelfand resigned here, and with only 2 games left in the rapid match, it puts a lot of pressure on Gelfand before the next game, where he has the white pieces once again. So now it's 1.5 to only a half for Anand, and if he can level the 2 last games in the rapid match, he will retain his world title. So thanks for watching this video, and please visit my chess website at klausjensen.com for more chess. Bye bye for now.